Hey everyone, Mike from Savvy Nomad here. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that has been affecting a lot of US expats and digital nomads, and that is state tax audits. Now, if you follow this channel, you know we talk a lot about different strategies that you can use to eliminate your state income tax. But the flip side is that this can sometimes create unintended consequences. High tax states like New York, California, they've been getting really aggressive in recent years about pursuing former residents for taxes. If you follow the news, maybe you saw that New York's taxation department sent out over 770,000 audits for 2022. In fact, a lot of those letters were AI generated. So we expect that trend to continue in 2026. In this video, we're going to talk about specific factors that can trigger a tax audit, as well as how you can defend yourself against them and what you can do to avoid one of these pesky audits in the first place. As most of you probably know, states like New York, New Jersey, California, Virginia, these carry some of the highest state income tax burdens in the country. These states also tax their residents on their worldwide income, no exceptions, no exclusions. So if you're an expat, you're a digital nomad, you no longer reside full-time in the US, then obviously what you want to do is find a way to transfer your residency to a low tax state. Now, these high tax states, they're like a toxic ex, right? They're going to do everything they can to keep you in their clutches, paying those super high tax rates. And since many people have been moving out recently, they've been getting really aggressive about pursuing them for those taxes. Now, at this point, you're probably asking yourself, what are some of the factors that can trigger a tax audit? Tax authorities like California's Franchise Tax Board and New York's Department of Taxation and Finance are going to look carefully at red flags, so let's go through some of the big ones. Number one is living in another state while keeping your old home in your former state. We always advise people to sell or rent out their former residence because keeping a second home in your old state is like putting out a big sign that says, "Please audit me." That's especially true if you're still keeping valuables in your old home like jewelry, artwork, even pets. That really makes it look like you're still trying to keep one foot in the door. New York tax authorities apply a standard known as the teddy bear test, which basically means they're going to look at where you're keeping your most prized possessions in order to determine where your primary residence is actually really located. Again, bottom line, move those valuables to your new residence. Red flag number two is maintaining social ties to your former state. Say your kids are still going to school in their old town, you're maintaining a golf club membership, you're still getting mail at your old address. These things make it look like your move really isn't legitimate and you're actually planning to move back shortly. Again, we always advise our clients to completely cut ties. Cancel local club memberships, enroll your kids in local new schools, change your mailing address for important financial documents. Red flag number three is being high net worth or high net income. Unfortunately, if you're rich, you're more likely to get audited. That's just the way it is. The state is generating a lot of revenue off very wealthy people. They obviously don't want to lose that. Another red flag that we see a lot with our clients is changing tax residency on January 1st. Tax authorities are going to think to themselves, yeah, this guy is just doing all this on paper for tax purposes. So if you want to get this done for 2026, try to do it a few months before or maybe a few months after that January 1st date. Another red flag, major life events. For instance, significant financial transactions or changes in employment, those could be factors in a tax audit. Now, anyone who's gotten audited before knows that it's extremely costly, very stressful. Tax lawyers have compared it to getting a financial colonoscopy. The best way to defend yourself is to keep really detailed records. That includes travel records, your lease agreements, utility bills, anything that can prove where you've been spending your time. Ideally, you want to avoid getting audited in the first place, so make sure you're following best practices like the 183-day rule, which we cover in other videos. And perhaps most importantly, you want to formally transfer your domicile and ID to another state. This involves a lot of planning, a lot of paperwork, but the good news is that we offer a service that does all that hard work for you. If you're an expat, you're living overseas, Savvy Nomad can help you get a real residential address in Florida that you can use for tax and legal purposes. Link is in the video description for that. And if you do sign up with us, make sure you use the code YouTube for a special discount. If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, make sure you hit that like button. Again, helps us out in the algorithm. And if you want more digital nomad tax tips, expat financial strategies, follow the channel. We're always putting out new content. And don't forget to join our brand new email newsletter, Americans Abroad. The link is in the video description. Until next time, safe travels and happy tax planning.